me into the
Thank you. That's great.
music. Go ahead and start talking.
Well, good morning, actually noon for you folks on Eastern Time in the US, and welcome to day 8 of the 12 live sales of Christmas. This is something I really enjoy because today is our 12 items that have to do with holiday table settings and making the house look nice for family gatherings or dinners or having friends over, or frankly, if you live alone, then just to enjoy for yourself. And I think we've got some really pretty things lined up for today. I see a bunch of people coming into the chat now. Good morning, Sharon. Nice to see you here. I know you asked me to invoice you for your stuff, and I just found a big box this morning, so I'll be working on that later today. I'm just a tad behind on a few of the invoices because I had to do the video for our main channel that comes out tonight. But I'll be working on catching that up this afternoon. So by tomorrow, all of you who haven't already heard from me should have invoices and will be ready to roll. So let's see who else is here. Sonia Jelinski is here. Hello. And Pamela, let's Jingle Bell Rock. Yes, I'm really enjoying this background music. LaDonna Durbin, nice to have you here. A whole bunch of packages went out yesterday, by the way, so a lot of you have things on the way. Sheila McKenzie, it's nice to see you. Gilstrap Gets, good morning. I am having a wonderful Wednesday. I woke up early, got the vlog done for the month for my members, got the video for the main channel for tonight, and got ready for this. So I am bright and chipper for a change. Loved Well Vintage, nice to have you here. And JGB Denman, it's good to have you back. Lucky Texans, hello. It's a new name to me in the chat. Nice to see you here. Jan Goodwin, nice to see you. And Lynn, good morning out in Washington State. Claire, very nice. Ooh, 12 inches of snow there, yes. Well, yes, you are where snow is a regular thing. Alicia Steele, hello there. Oh gosh, that went so fast that I missed somebody, and I hate to do that. Let me see if I can get back there. Oh, Geneva Johnson, good morning. Mary, good morning. Auntie Christy, nice to have you here. Ela Rosa, you've got people down for a nap, so that gives you a chance. Happy Wednesday, Willie Joe. Margaret Richardson, you got your notice. Sarah Wrinkle, oh, I'm glad you're here, Sarah. I have that painting sitting over in my shipping area for you. So please shoot me an email at theantiquenomad@gmail.com today, and I will get that figured out for you. Let's see, Retro Country Girl is here. Karen Radford is here. I am a busy guy, that's for sure. Catworm, nice to see you. Let's see who else is here. Lisa Hemphill and Rob, hi there. Marty Steele is here. Trina is here. Patty is here. Butterfly Nurse Thrift, nice to have you with us. Thank you, Sarah. I'll look for that. Let's see. Boy, we've got a lot of fun stuff today, and I don't want to tarry too long because I want to make sure that we can all get a chance to see all this good stuff and then be done hopefully in an hour and ready to go over to Misty at Thrifter Junker Vintage Hunters sale. Alice Goes Nomad, nice to see you here. Let me talk, Brett finally caught us. That's great, Brett. Nice to have you here. Let me tell you a little bit about the rules of this sale because I do it a little bit differently than some of the other YouTubers' sales. Everybody is welcome to watch this. If you want to chat or bid, you do have to subscribe or be a subscriber at least 1 hour before the broadcast starts. That's to get rid of the trolls. It helps a lot. We also are able to combine shipping. I have several of you who've bought things over the course of several sales, and if you want me to hold and combine shipping, we're happy to do that, or if you get multiple items in one day. The information on where to send your information is at the bottom of the screen, and for the most part, I'm getting invoices out within 24 hours of receiving your information. Like I said, I'm just a tad behind today because I had the other channel to keep going. And Zeno is lurking. Lynn Brother is here. Let me think what else I need to tell you about the sale. So we do not do just-in-case bids, and so bid what you are willing to pay for the item, because what you bid is what you will pay. The way I do it is about 15 to 20 seconds before the end of the sale, I will say fair warning, and fair warning is your cue to put your last bid in. Because when I say going, going, gone, and hit bid end, as soon as bid end comes up in the chat, and the Charm Barn, well, hi there, you're Leslie, good to meet you. As soon as bid end comes up in the chat on my end, whoever the high bidder at that point is the winner of the item. In the event of a tie, the person who bid that amount first is the winner of the item. Now, there are a couple of, I think there's 2 or 3 auctions today that are choice. And what that means is that you can pick one item or the other item. And if you are the high bidder, say you bid $20 and you're the high bidder, if you want one for $20, you can have it. If you want both of them for $20 each, you can have it. If you decide not to take the second item, then we will offer it at our discretion to the backup bidder. I wanted to also say, I mentioned fair warning, that's important. And really, there's not a whole lot more to it than that. If you'll pay within 48 hours, that's appreciated, unless you're holding things over for the end of the sales, and then we'll make arrangements at the end. So I think we got everything that we needed to get here. We have some fun items today, and I want to do one other little housekeeping thing before we get started. Actually, 2 things I should mention. One is I went live last night briefly, and some of you saw it, and we previewed. There's a video up, and you're all welcome to go look at it and comment. There's a video up called Help, with me and a very sad-looking doggy in a doghouse. And that is because we are going to do sales the next couple of days that are a little different. It's not going to be so much tableware and Christmas decorations and the things people are used to. We're actually going to do one that is toys and games and characters, like Disney characters and that sort of stuff. And we're going to do one that is great gifts for guys that gals might also appreciate. And so we showed in that video a bunch of stuff, and we want people to comment on what items, what 24 items out of all of that pile that I showed you would like to see. So it's going to be viewer choice. And if you can just, Christy Allen, we're going to miss you on December 13th. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Oh, Auntie Christy wants to know where we're shipping from. That's a good point. We're shipping from Kentucky, and it's Western Kentucky, not far from the Mississippi River. So we're pretty central to North America, which makes it help. We watched the new, Gilstrap, yeah, it's nice to have you two with us. And you watched the new Vlogmas this morning, really enjoyed it. Yeah, we had fun with that one. You know, some days are more fun than others. When you're showing behind the scenes, you get what you get. I'm going to do some filming today because I have a house call. I don't know if she'll let me film, but I'm being invited into a rather nice home to look at antiques. So if I get to film that, we'll have that in Vlogmas. One other thing about viewer choice, before I started doing any of these 12 sale days, I had people ask for some things, and I'm not going to put these 2 up for bid because it was just 2 specific people who asked, and I don't know who it is, but someone wanted Metlock's Ivy, the California Poppy Trail. And so if this was you, if you'll let me know, I'd be glad to make you a price for these. Because it was just one person, and with pattern matching, it's so specific that it really should go to the person who's specifically looking for it. The other one was somebody asked for various pieces of Royal Worcester Eversham with those delicious berries and the olives on the spear. And I have 9 of these little ramekins. If that was you, please contact me at theantiquenomad@gmail.com, and I'll be happy to arrange a private sale of those items for you. So. Oh, Sarah, I'm sorry that you have a cold and are having to sit in the room instead of being out at Disney World, but we will have a bunch of Disney stuff, so if you're still in that darn room, well, we'll get you some neat stuff that you can't buy there anymore, and that'll show them. All right, so let's get started with our first item, and we're going to start off small and cute. These are, again, 12 table toppers that are appropriate for holidays or for just any season. Sonia wanted to know, do I have any Elvis items? And I don't right now. I get them on occasion, but I don't have anything today. But our first piece is going to be this crackle little ewer here, this little mini pitcher. And it is going, hi Sue, nice to see you. This is going to start at $6, so $6 is your opening bid. And this is a really pretty teal green. This is about 5.5 inches tall. This would have been made on the Ohio River in the 1960s. And see the pontil mark on the bottom. So this is hand blown. And I just think crackle glass is really cool. This is not a Blenko piece or a Pilgrim piece because the crackle stops before the top. Their crackle always went all the way to the top. But this one, the company that made this, which was probably Rainbow Glass, they held the piece by the top. So the way they make crackle is they dunk it in cold water really fast while it's still molten, and then it all cracks internally and the heat fuses it together so it doesn't fall apart. That's where crackle comes from. And Patty at $6 is our first bidder. It's such a pretty teal color. This color was really popular in the late 60s for a little period of time, and you'd see it in Christmas decor. And it's really nice because it's a shade of green that has a little bit of a blue tone. So if that's how you like to decorate your house, I have one collector who she does nothing but this color and purple glass, and that is what she does for her home decorations. And Patty is our current high bidder. I know Gigi bid $6 as well, but the first bidder is the one. So now Lisa Hemphill at $8. Hello from Atlanta. Hi, Brenda. Nice to see you there. These are really cute too because they're really good quality. The handles are applied, so they're very sturdy here. And the people who make glass, I've talked to glass blowers over the years. I've known several. I was involved with the glass blowing studio at one point. And yes, a technique called quenching when they decanted water, that's right. The people who make this stuff have always told me that it takes just as much effort to make a little tiny ewer as it does to make a big one. And so they liked making the big ones because they got more money. And so the little ones actually were something that had the same quality for a lower price. Is that a little loop at the handle bottom? Yes, they would pull them and then attach them again at the bottom just for a little design flair. And, you know, it was to kind of look like European style, even though it was American glass. Gigi at $11 is our high bidder currently. And Christine is with us from Dearborn, Michigan. Nice to see you, Christine. Yeah, so I just think this is really cute. I love this color personally. I'm going to call fair warning now. And that means get in your last bids because this piece is about to sell. And it will be very pretty to have, you know, some people put little flowers in them. Some people use them as little creamers on a table. They are perfectly good to use. They are absolutely perfect for that. We have Lisa at 12 as our high bidder, and we are going once. We are going twice. And we are sold, and we're putting in bid end, and let's see who ends up with it. And we're just waiting for that to pop up on our screen, and there it is. And Patty, at $15, you are the high bidder, and I thank you very much. We're going to make a note of that. Someone said, is it ever called anything else? I've always referred to them as a ewer, but a lot of people call them crackle mini pitchers, and that's perfectly valid. I call them ewers because that's the old name that people called them from Victorian times. We're going to have a big version of a ewer by Blenko Glass coming up a little later in this sale, and I'm really excited about that because I just got it the other day. It wasn't something originally I was going to have for you in the sales, and gosh, it came up, so that's great. All right. Oh, your mom collected crackle glass. Oh, that's neat. I have a friend whose mom has collected it since the 60s, and I just think it's the neatest stuff. Tanya Jordan, nice to have you with us. All right, so let's see. Our next this one is a lot, meaning one price gets all. And this lot is going to start at $8. And I'll show you what's in the lot here in the middle. Auntie Christie says she'd call it a creamer, and that is completely right too. There are many names for the same thing in the antique and vintage business. So this bowl, and this is starting at $8, and it includes the ornaments, which I'll show you individually. So $8 for this whole grouping. One price takes it all. Carol Bloom at $8 is our initial high bidder here. And this piece, let me take out the ornaments and show you first. We've got ornaments from a few different vintages. This one needs a hanger, but it's very cute. It's a little aged, but it's intact. And you've got the angel playing the trumpet and the nice sort of sprigs on the side. This would look great on a tree. I love this particular shape. It does have some crazing down the middle. Sometimes these old ornaments just do that. So that's one of the ornaments in the lot. I like this one because to me it's a balloon. Of course it's supposed to hang this way, but you know, maybe you could put it upside down. And again, it's just got nice shine to it. These colors are fun. These are 1960s. Again, a little bit of crazing in the bottom here. And let's see, our current high bidder is Carol Bloom at $12. And then this one I thought was really neat. It's got that old style dark glitter that they don't really do anymore. This is with the painted polka dots. This is going to be from about 1960 when polka dots were all the rage. You saw them in a lot of clothes back then. And the other two ornaments that come with this, there's this very pretty gold with the banding. This is going to be from about 1980. And hello there, My Heart. Nice to have you back. And Carol Bloom is our current high bidder on this. And here's the last ornament, another angel. This one is actually inside a globe. And it also can sit flat, which is kind of a neat thing. And the other thing that we have that it comes in is this bowl for the centerpiece. This is Anchor Hawking's Forest Green in the Charm pattern. Charm was always square, and I always loved square dishes. Lisa Hemphill at 13 is our current high bidder. This is an La Rosa Boutique at 15 is now our high bidder. I just think this is so cool. I always like square dishes. The color is so deep. The forest green is just very pretty. You notice it's a little different than the last piece we had, which was a teal green. The neat thing about Christmas is that greens come in so many different shades. If you like the yellow greens of the 60s and 70s, you can be happy. If you like the forest green from the 40s and 50s, you can be happy. There's just something for everybody in green. So this is the lot. We have Ela Rosa at $17. We are going to call fair warning. So we are winding down this auction. That is, again, your cue to get your last bids in, because whoever the high bidder at the end of this is going to be the winner. And I'm going to set this down while I get ready. We've got Carol at 20, and we are going once. We are going twice. And we are at bid end. And let's just see where that comes up. And oh, My Heart at the last minute gets in the $22 bid. So My Heart, this bowl with the ornaments is yours. That'll be a nice, you can use the bowl for serving or display it the way it is. But in any event, I think you'll have a nice time with that. I've just always liked that. It came in ruby red too, and also a Delphite blue color. So Charm is just a great pattern. So let me see here. My Heart at 22 is our high bidder. Now this third piece, I just thought, because, you know, we're so focused on Christmas and holiday table toppers, but I also like a bit of whimsy. And I thought, you know what? Not everything has to be Christmas colors in this time of year. And hi there, Jenny +1. Good morning. It's still morning here. I'm on Central Time. And Tiger, hey, it's good to have you back, Tiger. And oh yes, thank you, Sharon. I always forget to say that. If you click the live chat, then you'll know you're on the right screen and your bid should be up to date. Hi there, Susan Jackson. Nice to see you too. Okay, so this little duck is our next piece. He is a little jar, and he is starting at $8. $8 is the opening bid here. And this is a very cute little guy. And Joanne Johnson, nice to see you too. And yeah, I think this guy is just really sweet. He is 1930s Japanese lusterware. It will be very hard to see the mark, but there is a made in Japan mark on the bottom. And we have AB at $8 as our opening bid. And yes, I really like the lusterware, and I'm noticing that people here, Gypsy Moon, he is cute, isn't he? Oh, hi there, Maria. It's nice to see you again. Now that I know you as Maria, of course I remember meeting you at Portland. This guy, I just love his little bill. It's so bright orange. With lusterware, you have to be careful because if people used Windex or ammonia cleaner, it can take the finish off. And so this guy has not been cleaned the wrong way. Every piece of paint is still there. The luster is still good. Claire is, well, actually no, AB was first at $10 and is our current high bidder. And if we open the lid here, there's no chips or cracks or damage of any sort. He'd be great to, yes, a ceramic rubber ducky. He probably would float in the bathtub if you were careful. But I think more he would be used for, gosh, I mean, you could use him on a dresser. You could certainly put him out on a Christmas table and put any sort of, I don't know, jam would go in him, jams or jellies, little candies, people who throw their coins and things like this until they add up. We have Carol at $12 is our current high bidder. Hi, Bria. It's good to see you here. Nice to have you with us. It's nice also because he's multicolored, so you've got his little black feet. He's just a little more detailed than I'm used to seeing. Diaper pins in a nursery. Yes, back in the day. I bet that's right. And let's see. He said, white spot near the tail on the bottom. Yeah, that is a glaze skip. Now, these were made in the 30s, and so, they were not necessarily looking for perfect quality. This would have been a factory second, technically. That white spot he's referring to is right there by my finger, and that is just where the glaze missed a little bit, so you're just seeing the white under the glaze. But no chips, no cracks, nothing wrong with it. We have Carol Bloom at $14 and Ela Rosa at $15 is our current high bidder. And we are going to call fair warning. So get your last bid in now because this guy is going to fly away or waddle off, I guess, and live with somebody else out there. And toys my mom used in her decorations. Yes, a lot of people mix old toys and old family heirlooms and just little cute things into decorations. And we are very near the end here, so I'm going to say we are going once, we are going twice, and we are at bid end, and we're just waiting for it to come up on the screen. And Carol Bloom, $18. You are the high bidder, and I will make a note of that. Thank you very much. That is a very cute piece, and I just thought it would be fun to do something that wasn't just traditional Christmas today. And that actually brings us to our next thing. Now, this one is going to be choice, and your choice is between the two items I'm going to hold up here, and these are going to start at $12. So $12 is our starting bid, and it will be your choice between two pieces of Carnival Glass. On this side, we have the Blue Imperial Harvest Compote with lid, and on this side, we have the Iris and Herringbone Vase. And these are two different eras of Carnival Glass. This is the later period of Carnival, when Carnival starts to become really popular again in the 1950s. And the first one, and the blue one's a little later than that, so we'll talk about that. But let's first start with the Iris and Herringbone. And hi, Teophane, nice to see you here. This is called Iris and Herringbone. This again, okay, $13 is our opening bid. And the Iris and Herringbone is called that because if you see up close, it's got the herringbone in the pattern, which is really neat because it really refracts the light well. Now, Carnival Glass, of course, the Carnival is on the front of the glass. It's on the outside, and so you can use it without worrying about wearing it out. You just don't want to put it in the dishwasher or use Windex or stuff on it to clean it. But this is in great shape, no chips or cracks. It's a really pretty pattern. This was Depression glass. They didn't do it in the Carnival, this marigold at first. That came later. They did that because they wanted to get new people interested in it, and it had originally just been clear. This is the state flower of Tennessee, and I remember working in an antique mall in Centralia, Washington, and a tour group who were from that part of the country came in, and every piece of iris sold because it is the state flower. I got a big kick out of that. Oh, and size. I should tell you how big this is because it's substantial. This is 9 inches, so you could put a big old Christmas bouquet or any time of year in it. Although I have to admit, I use vases as sculptural objects. I love vases, and I now am involved with tending a butterfly garden, and so I don't really pick the flowers. I leave them for the butterflies, but I still like the vases as ornaments. And it is your choice between that item or the other piece of Carnival glass, which we'll show now. This is Indiana glass, and this is the Harvest pattern. And Harvest is a very rich blue with a very heavy glossy, Carnival iridescence on it. And so you can see, and it really glows. It's very pretty stuff. They did huge tableware sets of this. They actually were taking the market away from imperial glass, and they were successful. The Harvest pattern was so popular. You could pretty much do an entire tabletop with these. I have 4 boxes of this. I just got a huge collection. So if you're seeing this, whether you're the high bidder or not, if you are interested in other pieces in this pattern, shoot me an email because I've got a whole lot of it. Pitchers and relish trays and all sorts of things. So the choices between these two, and hi Lorraine, no, you didn't miss half. I'm a little tardy today as not getting started, but just because I like to talk. So Lisa Hemphill at 32. It's going to be the winner's choice. You get one or the other, or if you want both, you can have both. So we are going to call fair warning here. Because at fair warning, that means put in your final bid. Lisa is the current high bidder at 32, and we're winding down, and pretty shortly here we're going to call the end of the auction, and it will be done. So let me see here. I just need to get that ready. Margaret Richardson at 35, and we are going once. We are going twice. And we are sold at bid end. Let me get that in. And we will wait to see who our high bidder is. Just waiting for it to come up on the other end. I'm glad I have this Christmas music to keep us company. Okay. Well, we had 2 bids the same, but the first bid was Gina Phillips. So Gina, you get first choice. Either of these items at $36 each. If you'll tell us in the comments which one you want, then we will offer the other piece to the backup bidder. So let us know in the comments which one of these is for you, the pretty blue or the lovely gold. And the blue I thought was nice because some people do blue Christmas, some people do Hanukkah, so that means that it's useful for a few different holidays. And Gina's going to take the Indiana Harvest. Okay, so AB, you are the backup bidder. If you are interested in the iris vase, please let me know in the comments because that one is still available. I'm going to just make a note here while we wait to hear from AB whether she was interested in this one or the other one. So let me put this down. We've got Gina Phillips. Okay. All right, we've got that, and I'm not hearing yet from AB about this, but AB, if you were interested in the iris vase, please do let me know because you are the backup bidder, and we will honor your bid if you decide that that is a piece that you would like to have. And in the meanwhile, let's move on. Okay. Now these next ones, these are cute and they're fun and they're very much holiday and they are great for the table and I'm happy to sell them. They also prove a little bit of a point that I like to make about Etsy, which is that what Etsy considers vintage and what I consider vintage, we have a little bit of a disagreement because to Etsy, these very cute Santa canisters are actually vintage now because they're 20 years old. And to me, well, you know, that still seems fairly contemporary, but I do think they're very cute. And our next bid is for the Santa canisters. And I've got one out of the box where you can see it. These are starting at $12 each, $12 your choice. And they have the traditional scenes from the 1930s with the, and I agree with Lynn, 30 years to my mind, but that doesn't make these any less cute. And they really are cute. And they've got their hermetic seal. They've got the original box. $12 is our opening bid on this. And it shows, they are two different ones. One of these has the Santa with the toys. This is actually the reason that we see Santa as being red, is because in 1931, Coca-Cola wanted to use Santa in their advertising, and they wanted red to match the Coca-Cola logo, because before that, Santa was depicted wearing any number of different colors of cloaks. So Carol Bloom at $12, and this is choice. You get one or the other, or if you want both for one, you can have both. And Copter Attack, yes, he looks like he's not disturbed by that, but that copter is headed right at him. And then the other one is here, and this one he's having a Coca-Cola and sharing it with the family. Apparently the kids have been allowed to stay up and meet Santa in this family. And you can see that one nice thing with these newer items, there is something to be said. They are dishwasher safe, including the silicone seal. So if you've got a bunch of little ones around who get into the canisters for candy and cookies, well, they're easy to wash. So Carol is our high bidder at $12. And they are approximately 1 quart in size, so they should hold a nice amount of Christmas goodies. They also might be something you could fill and send off with someone, and they do have their original boxes. And I think that we are going to go ahead and call fair warning on this. So if anyone else is interested, now is your chance to get in your bid, because this will wind down soon. We've got Gina Phillips at 15 as our high bidder. And it is your choice of one or the other or both. You've got Santa with the Coke or Santa with the toys. And we are going once. We are going twice. And we are at bid end. Let me get that in the chat and we will see who our winner is. We're just waiting for it to show up here. It'll just take a moment. That way I have the same lag you do. I finally figured out how to do it where we're all roughly on the same page. And Lorraine Mitchell at $16, you are the winner of choice. So either or both of these, please let us know in the chat which one that you are interested in, or both, and we will put them aside for you. And they've got great boxes. We can pack them easily and get them shipped out right away. So we'll just wait for Lorraine to tell us which piece she is interested in. And if she takes, here's your choices. Whoops, let's get that where you can see it. Here's your choices, so let us know in the chat there. The one's still in the box. They're actually both in the box, Lorraine. So the one that is still in the box is the one with the Coca-Cola. So that one is for you, and I guess that means that the high bidder, or the backup bidder, Gina Phillips, if you are interested in the Santa with the toys, please let me know in the chat, and you have the option of getting that at your backup bid. And okay, very good. We'll just wait to hear from Gina for just a second while I get Lorraine put in the books here for her piece. And Gina will take the other one. All right, very good. Let me get that down. So toys goes to Gina, and the other one goes to Lorraine. And I've got everything down. That's great. All right, well, thank you very much. Now we're going to step back in time a little bit on this next piece, because this harkens back to Christmases past when, again, one great thing about Christmas is all the different colors that can be used for Christmas. Now, of course, they can be used year-round too, and this is a great example because this is 100% 1970 vintage avocado color. And this is Fostoria Coin. And this is starting this very large, I should measure it for you. It is 13 inches from the tip to the base. So this is a big substantial piece of glass like Fostoria like to make, and this is $18 opening bid. These can sell for about $75 or $80 on eBay, so I think that for someone who likes this, it's a great deal. So $18 is the, oh, I have another purchase of a necklace. Info was set. Can you put them together? As long as I haven't already sent it, I will be happy to put them together, Lorraine, and I will check on that for you. So here we go with the Fostoria Coin. $18 is the opening bid. It is a really beautiful piece of glass. And Sherry is in at 20, our opening bidder. There are no chips, cracks, or flaws. The coins on it are impressions of coins, because by this time the mint had made it very clear that Fostoria and the other companies could not make anything that looked like a real coin exactly, because that would be the chance to do a little counterfeiting, and the government wasn't real keen on that. But it's got the coins all around the top. It would be a nice apothecary jar. And Gina Phillips at 25 is our current high bidder. It really is a beautiful piece of glass. And one nice thing about this avocado color is the way it works with other things. So for example, and I'm kind of cheating because this is going to come into the sale later, look how that pops out some of the colors in this Lenox tray here. They go together really nicely. So you can do nice little vignettes if you're setting up a sideboard, or you could just have this sitting on a table. The other thing is that it matches really well with some of the deep reds of that period. The green's got a lighter and the red's got deeper. So here's Avon Cape Cod, which we'll see later as well, with the Fostoria coin. It just is really neat. It works into a lot of decorating schemes. It's also something that you can have out year-round because it's not specifically holiday. So it's something you can enjoy all the time. We've got Lisa Hemphill at $30 as our high bidder. And, Katie from Vintage and Vinyl made a video about Fostoria coin glass yesterday. Oh, that's great, because it's a pretty interesting area, and I think Katie is doing some really interesting videos where she talks about the backgrounds of things. And thank you, Tiger. I think this is really pretty, and yes, I agree, Catworm, they really are pretty together. I'm going to do that one more time, because if you are using this for holiday, they're just really rich together, and the one really pops out the other, which I think is nice. So we are at $30. Lisa Hemphill, you are the current high bidder, and that's a great price on this, because like I said, these go for more than double that online. So we are going to call fair warning on this. If you're interested in the Fostoria coin, this is your chance to bid on this beautiful piece, because it will not be around much longer. Fostoria was really good at fire polishing, so there's no seam lines. You don't see heavy mold lines in anything. It's just a really good quality piece of glass. And this piece of glass is going once. It is going twice. And I will set it down because that's the only way I can manage the computer to hit bid end. And we're going to put in the bid end and see where it ends up. And Sherry at $35, you are the high bidder. Congratulations, Sherry. That's a beautiful piece of glass, and you got a very nice deal on it. So we will get a note there, and I'll look forward to getting your information again, and we'll get that out to you. Yeah, she's a big fan of coin. I am too. I remember it as a child, and some of the neighbors had some Fostoria coin in their house, and I was a coin collector as a little kid, so I thought it was quite fascinating. All right. Thank you very much, Sherry. I appreciate it. Now, our next piece is a little bit of deja vu. It's the last piece that I know that I have for this series of sales, that is uranium glass, and will glow under a black light. And we sold one of these, I think the first sale we did, and this is the other one that I had. I happened to get two at the same time. And this is a Fenton custard glass bowl. And yeah, penny collection, that's how I started too, Margaret. I still have the first penny I ever got. And this one, fortunately, the sun has gone behind a cloud enough that you can see how it fluoresces. So this is a Fenton bell starting at $12, and it is practically nuclear on my end. It doesn't show as much in the camera as I wish it did for you. Let me see if I put the light underneath if you can get that a little more. It's just a really pretty glow. And Lisa Hemphill at $15 is our first bidder. Oh yes, Ela Rosa, that's an interesting... Yes, it helps to have charged the batteries. Thank you for doing that, Zeno. He does really help keep me in order, I have to say. This is an interesting question, which is, what do you do when you want to ship a big piece of glass? And I would say the first thing that I do is I look at how they did it in the old days, where they would do a big carton and keep the pieces separated, and then you put all that in a bigger box and put another 2 inches of padding around it. This Fenton piece has a very nice ring to it. It's got its original crystal clacker in it. Clackers are what they call the thing that makes the bell ring. And yes, Zeno runs a tight ship, and it's a good thing because I run a loose ship, and between the two of us, we don't run aground. So this is the daisy and button pattern. This is a pattern that originates in the Victorian time. You see it from a lot of glass companies then, and it's again, very pretty. I have a friend who actually uses the dinner bell every time there's a holiday and she has a bunch of people over. She rings the bell to let us know to come to the table. It's very sweet and old-fashioned, and I love it. I double box all glass, no, but I double box big, huge, heavy pieces if I think they need it to ship effectively. And so let's see here. My Heart at $30 is our current high bidder. And, oh yes, Rosie's Auction House. There is an excellent point. You should never, never, ever take a piece of glass that has been, or a box full of really anything breakable that's been out in the cold, and immediately open it in a warm environment. Bring it inside, let it warm up to room temperature, then unpack. Very important. I've seen some beautiful glass be destroyed because it was very cold and someone took it out in a hot room and it went... Let's see, what else can I say about Fenton? It's just beautiful stuff. This would have been made about 1970. We have My Heart at $30, and we are going to call fair warning on this piece. We are very close to the end of this auction, so if anyone else wants to put in a bid, this is your chance, because we are going once, we are going twice, and we are sold, putting in bid end. And yeah, no, that's great that Rosie brought that up. That's something I've been meaning to talk about in my videos. It was very cold here last night when I was bringing things in, and I had to be very cautious about that. All right, My Heart, you are the winner of the Fenton Bell at $30, and thank you. It's a very pretty piece. I will make a note that that's going to you. And we'll get on to our next bid. Now, this is going to be a choice again, and I'm going to put a few up here. Let's see if I can find, you know what, yeah, I'm going to do it this way. This will seem a little strange, but it's probably the best way to show it. We are going to auction off a few cute little salt and pepper shakers because, of course, we're talking holiday table, and little novelty shakers are something I've always really enjoyed, and there's something that I find people on YouTube also really enjoy, and it's going to be choice of one of these three or all of these three sets. Let's get them in focus here, and they are starting at $6 a set. I wanted to do some things that were a little less expensive today because I know I've had a few people mention that, oh, it's really fun, but there's never anything I can afford. Well, one of the great things about salt and pepper shakers is they made thousands of different novelty examples back in the 1950s, 60s, 70s, and since then, but I look for the older ones. And Oh to Be Me Too at $8 is our opening bid. We've got the lions on the stand here. These are 1950s. We have the houses, Japanese, also from the 50s. They have their cork stoppers in them. Not all of them do. A lot of times they would sell them without and put a piece of paper saying, if we forgot to put the cork in, just use tape, which is what people do. These are a little later. These are going to be about 1970s because they're smiley face, and they're by Unesco. So they have the plastic stoppers, but what great little faces they have. Sherry at $11 is our current high bidder, and I just think these are fun. You know, if you've got someone who's a collector of these, they're fun for stocking stuffers. I think there's something about having happy faces at your table every day. I also thought the houses were very cute, and I don't know, I like the lions too. I like all this stuff. That kind of looks like Charlie Brown. It does because of that striped shirt. If it had the zigzags, you'd just about be there. And we're going to go ahead and call fair warning because I just want to make sure that we get through everything we have left here. And so let me get this ready. We've got Deb Lepley as our current high bidder. Hopefully you folks have your high bids in because we are going once. We are going twice. And yeah, sorry, can't really see the lions. They're small. And we are sold and bid end, and I said Enesco, E-N-E-S-C-O. You've got about the right thing. Enesco is a Japanese importer. And we're waiting for the bid end to come up, and Sally Koska at $13, you are the high bidder. So Sally, tell us which of these, any or all, you would like in the chat, and then we will offer the backup bidder their choice if there's any that you did not take. So we'll just wait for a moment to let Sally tell us what she's interested in at $13 each. That is the bid on these. And here, since the lions didn't show so well, I couldn't really turn them very well, but that's what the lions look like in the back. So, okay, the Enesco are going to Sally. So so Deb Lepley, you are the backup bidder. If you are interested in either the lions or the little cottages, please let me know in the chat, and we will be happy to set those aside for you. And I'll wait to, let me write down that we have Sally for the Enesco. At 13. Enesco smileys. Okay. And Deb, if you decide you wanted one of those other two, just let me know in the chat and we'll make a note of that as well. The lions are for Deb. Okay, very good. So Deb, you will have the lions, and those will be $12 for you. And that's great. It always makes me happy when we can make more than one person happy with a choice bid. So I will make a note of Deb's name here. And we will move on to our next choice. Our next choice, these are very, very pretty. They're very good quality, and they're both by the Lenox company. And they are platters. They would be wonderful for holiday service, and they are big. So I'm going to quickly hold them up. So that, I'm going to hold them up in succession. They are starting at $20. $20 is your initial bid, and these are both big enough for turkey or chops or whatever you're doing. We have the transfer with the birds, and we have the holly pattern here in the textured, and $20 is the original. A couple of you are asking about the house shakers. I'll tell you what, we'll do a special bid on those at the very end, because the first two bidders didn't take them, so they're going to be still available. We'll do a quick run on them at the very end. So Lisa at $20 is our initial bid, and I have to say $20 is a very cheap price for these. They are Lenox, they are such good quality. The holly is a holiday favorite that's been a big mainstay for them for years. Both of these are American made. A lot of this has gone overseas, so you don't really see it with USA marks anymore. We have two bidders at $25, but Jane Moon is the current high bidder. She had her bid in first. And this one is the, oh, I should know the name of this. This is Winter Greetings. And this is really beautiful transferware. Look at the beautiful cardinal. I love the cardinals here in Kentucky when you see them, because it's just about the only color there is. There's a chickadee, this lovely blue holly for holidays, and mistletoe woven in. So there are all sorts of different colors you can work with on this piece. On the other hand, if you're $42, JJB Denman is our current high bidder. On the other hand, if you like the traditional and you're more about what the food looks like on the plate, and you really just want this nice edge so that that's what you see, or you want to use this as a backdrop on a sideboard to make other things pop. Like, again, I'll use, because this is such a good example, like if you want your reds in front of it, well, notice how that really brings the color out. You can put greens in front of it. You could really decorate with these. And they really are both very lovely. And they are, the third bird is a nuthatch. Thank you. Yeah, they really are great quality. And this is going to be choice. So the high bidder will get to pick the one that they want. And then the backup bidder, if they want the other one, will have that opportunity. So it's between the winter greetings with the very beautiful birds, or the holly piece. I'm going to measure these really quickly to give you an idea of how big they really are, because they really are big. Sharon Carter at 48 is in the bidding. The tray with the birds, the winter greetings, is 16 inches from side to side and 13 inches this way. Margaret Richardson at 55. And yes, I agree, the whites and the ivories are really classic and elegant, so it's just a different thing. Some people really want color and some people really want the classics. This is a little larger, actually. This one is about 15 inches top to bottom and 17 inches side to side, so this is really a full-size turkey platter. The other one could be for turkey, but it might also be for smaller birds or chops. And here's your choices. Margaret's at $55. I am calling fair warning. Get your final bids in, because these trays are going to sell. And they will be delightful for somebody to have on the holiday table. We are at the point here where we are going once. We are going twice. And we are sold. And we are waiting for the bid in. The nuthatch is the one that walks up and down the trunk. So that's right. We see a lot of birds here in Kentucky, and our bid in, Sharon Carter. You are the high bidder. So Sharon, please tell us which of the trays, or both, that are of interest to you, and then we will let the backup bidder have the option of the other one if you don't take both. So we're just waiting to see in the chat. Okay, you're taking the winter greetings. Let me see who our backup bidder is here. It's Margaret Richardson. Margaret, if you are interested in the holly, please let us know in the chat, and that can be yours. So we will wait to hear from Margaret, and I'm going to set this aside. Being in Kentucky, we are right on the flight pattern up the Mississippi River. I'm used to seeing lots of birds in Florida in the wintertime, but Audubon did his research right near here in Kentucky, and I can see, okay, Margaret's not interested in the holly, and so I guess it's the birds, and it's going to Sharon Carter. All right, let me get a note of that. If anyone is interested in the holly piece, you're welcome to send me an email at the Antique Mall, I keep doing that. I ran antique malls for so many years. The Antique Nomad at gmail.com. Hey Nate, it's good to see you. Well, we have people from all over the world now, because you're in New Zealand, we have someone in Switzerland, and we're all having fun here. All right, well, I've teased you with it enough. I think it's time to put the Cape Cod up for bid. And this is also going to be a choice, depending on which piece you might need for your table this time. We have the choice. Hi, Suzanne. We have the choice. These are starting at $15, which is a steal for what they are. They definitely sell for a lot more in the real world. But it is the choice of the Cape Cod, either the butter dish or the cake stand. And so $15 is your opening bid. Cape Cod was made by a really good glass company called Wheaton Glass. In fact, they made all the Avon bottles too. This was all distributed through Avon representatives starting in about 1975, and it was discontinued in 1990. Joanne Johnson at $15 is our original bidder. She's starting us out here. And because it's been discontinued for that period of time, there's a whole generation of people who grew up around these pieces, enjoyed them, maybe didn't get all of them when they were new. Some of the pieces were a little harder to find than others. Christine K is at $20. Eileen Kogan, nice to see you. We've still got a little bit of fun to have here. So I wanted to put the butter dish in because butter dishes tend to get really greasy, it seems like, and so people end up having to throw them away and do other things. And then we have the cake plate because people like to stack cake plates. So glass butter dishes are always popular around holidays. I sell a lot of them around Easter and Thanksgiving and Christmas because people find out that they needed to do theirs differently. And the glass ones don't have that problem because you can just put them in the dishwasher, which is nice. This is really good quality glass. The Wheaton Glass Company is no more. There is no mark on it other than if you see a mark, it's going to say Avon, but they generally didn't mark the glass at all. It's a really neat all-over pattern and a very deep, like deeper than ruby, like almost a pigeon blood color, they would have called it in Victorian times. So we have Jane Moon at $25 as our current high bidder. And I'm going to go ahead and call fair warning on this. Because I'm seeing out of the corner of my eye that we actually have an extra auction that we can have here. So we're going to have just a few extras today. We're going to try to keep it moving here. So we are very close to the end of the bid. Get your last bids in because we are going once. We are going twice. And we are at bid end. We'll just wait for this to come up in the thing. There we go. Okay. Our high bidder is Jane Moon at $28. So Jane, for $28, tell us which piece, either or both, you would like at $28 per. Would you like the butter dish? Would you like the cake stand? Or would you like both pieces? And yes, T.O. Fain said, oh, I never knew what that stuff was called. I see it all the time. You see certain pieces a lot. They did little port glasses where they were done for, oh, Jane Moon wants both. Okay, those are for you, Jane. Yeah, they did little port glasses that were very popular as candles. And then you burned the candle and you had the glass left. So that's the piece you tend to see a lot. But they did entire tableware sets, and some of the pieces are rather obscure now. So Jane Moon, you get both of those at $28 each. Let me make a note of that. And ordinarily we'd be wrapping up our last couple, but we're going to throw a special in really quickly here.
They're two exactly the same.
Okay, very good.
So they're both in the box.
Okay, great. Well, thank you.
Just take that initial box letter.
Okay, very good. Zeno is here, and we have a special addition to the auction that we're going to do really quickly here. I've got to make a note of this because this was not something that we had intended. But we have two of the same bowls. We are going to start them at $15 each, and the top two bidders will get these. Because there are two that are the same. This is also Winter Greetings. Well, upside down. There we go. This is also Winter Greetings by Lenox. And this particular piece, there are two of them. This one has the artist's signature on the back. This is Catherine H.M. Chang, I believe, is the artist that you see here. These are going to start at $15 each. I had forgotten his mother actually had a set of this, and she's living in an RV now and can't really set up for holidays anymore. So Sherry at 18 is our opening bidder. These have the original boxes with them as well, and they even say, which I have to say, I agree is true. Let me figure out how to hold this here. The box says, yeah, let me do this backwards. The box says, great gift, and this is the small serving bowl. Christine K at $19, and like I say, I have two of these, so we're going to do one for each of the top two bidders on this. Lisa Hemphill is at $20. This serving bowl has its original box. The measurement on this is 9 inches, so it's basically a vegetable-sized serving bowl, vegetable or fruit. Christine K is at $22. She's our current high bidder. And I've got, like I say, we've got two that are identical. And because we're throwing this in as kind of a special at the last minute, I am actually going to go ahead and call fair warning. How deep? Well, I should show the depth here. Get your final bids in now. This is 2.5 inches deep. And it's got a nice holly trim along the side so that you can see. And there's our cardinal. And we are going once. We are going twice. We are at bid end. And we're just going to wait for this to come in, and the top 2 bidders will get this. Okay. All right, well, our top 2 bidders are Sophia and Willie Joe. And so each of you will get one of these. One for Sophia and one for Willie Joe. And I thank you very much. That was just a very slapdash quick thing, but hey, we had something else for you, and that was really fun. I enjoy this kind of spontaneous thing. Let me just make note of this. So, Sophia and Willie Joe are our high bidders here. All right. So we have just 2 items left now, and then we're also going to do the house salt and pepper shaker again. In fact, let's do the houses right now, shall we? Because I want to make sure that people get a chance, since a couple of you were interested in the cottages. These are our bid now. We're going to start at $6 on these, folks. So $6 is the opening bid on the cottage salt and peppers. They're very cute. Brenda is in at 10. These are 1950s. You can see they're supposed to be thatched roof. I mean, for Japanese salt and pepper shakers, it's amazing the amount of detail that went into them. All the sculpting, all this painting. I mean, they've got windows. There's several different glaze colors to this. They've got the orange chimney, the thatched roof, the greenery around. Carol Bloom is in at 11. And these don't have any chips or cracks that I've seen. They're Japanese, so they do have a few factory flaws. You'll see a little divot there, and that's just where the glaze popped, because, you know, these were produced to be inexpensive. You can see that when they were new in about 1950, they were 29 cents. Suzanne Crabtree at $12 is our high bidder. And I'm going to get ready here because this is going to be a fast auction, folks. I am going to call fair warning. Carol is at 13. We have Canadian and Texas also, but the first high bidder is the one who gets it. So put in your final bids, because this particular salt and pepper shaker set is going once. It is going twice. And these are sold. We're going to put in bid end and see who our winner is. And our winner is waiting. Ooh, the suspense. Canadian and Texas for $18. You are the winner of the cottage salt and peppers. So thank you very much. I am glad that we went ahead and did those again. Let me make a note of those. Cottage S&P. And I know that you're a new bidder to us, Canadian and Texas, so if you'll just follow the instructions at the bottom of the screen, we'll make sure that we get these invoiced and out to you. I'm working very hard with shipping and everything to make sure everybody gets their things in plenty of time. And here I thought you started at noon. Well, we start at noon Eastern, and we're actually just a few minutes over. I usually try to do all this in an hour, but we had a couple of extra auctions that we were able to throw in. Do we ship to the UK? Yes, I will ship to the UK. The one thing I will say is I try to be very careful with packing. Because there's customs and duties and things. If something were to happen, the insurance covers your purchase, but we cannot insure the customs and duties. So that's the only thing about international shipping. All right. This is our penultimate item, and I think it's just beautiful. We've done a lot of things from the 1970s today. Well, here we have something from approximately the 1870s or 80s. And this is just a beautiful piece. It's quite tall, so it's a little hard to get it all in the screen. In fact, I think I will gently get off my chair here and stand back. This one is starting at $30. This is a fern base that would have gone on a fern stand in a Victorian parlor. And you can see how large it is. Let me see if I can get it where you can see the whole thing. It's really quite tall. I'll measure it for you here in a second. But this is just a beauty. If somebody is interested, and Christine K is, $30 is the opening bid. This is another piece that just came to me. This was found here in Kentucky. Kentucky had a lot of money and power and prestige in the 19th century, and people had fine homes and they dressed them, and this was one of the pieces from them. Look at the detail in the ferns. If you look at the base, it's similar to Bristol glass, so it's a little lighter. It's not as heavy as a lot of Victorian pieces, but I don't believe this was by Bristol. I believe it was American. I don't know the maker. It is glorious. I agree. I think it's just gorgeous. And Leah at 38 is our current high bidder. Now, measurement on this, boy, I actually need a yardstick, but we are looking at 16 inches tall. These would have been very graceful to set on top of a fern stand, which would have been basically like a column that you put it on, and then you'd have ferns or sprigs or various things coming out of the top. And so that's why they're so tall, is because they really were just to get attention to themselves. And I think this one does it in fine style. What's really nice is that the gold is in really good condition. Even the trim around the edges here, this gold paint is not worn off. So it's really immaculate. It does not have any chips or cracks. I just think it's a really gorgeous piece. I'm going to hold it back one more time. Carol Bloom at 48. No, Christine at 50 is our current high bidder. I'm going to try to get back one more time so you can see the whole thing. Let me get behind the chair here, and maybe with it against me, you'll be able to see it a little better. There we are. A hand model I am not, but we're going to work on that. There's the whole thing. So this is what it looks like when you're able to see it in its entirety from top to bottom. Just a really beautiful piece of glass. Victorian glass is wonderful, and we don't really see very much of it come onto the market anymore like this. So you could hold it sideways as well. Yes, here it is sideways. That gives you an idea. The scroll work's nice. It's just a very pretty piece. I agree. I think it's a stunner. And Carol Bloom, we're going to wiggle around a little bit here. Sorry about that. My floor is a little bouncy. Carol Bloom at $52. Just needs one of Zeno's hand crocheted. Yes, it needs a doily underneath it, exactly. So we are at $52. I'm going to call fair warning. This is your last chance on this piece, and I have to say, this is an unusual enough piece. I don't know that you're going to see another one like it anytime really soon. It doesn't seem to have any major wear. There's just a little wee place at the bottom here that is just like a tiny little flea bite. I want to point that out in fairness here. And so we're at fair warning, and we are going once. We are going twice. And we are at sold bid end. And let's see who the ultimate owner of this is going to be. It looks to me like Carol Bloom at $69. You are the one who got your bid in time, and I appreciate it very much. Let me make a note of that. All right, well, we've got one last piece for the day, and it's a really pretty one too. But the last one we saw was from about 1870. This one is from about 1970, and this is our piece of Blenko for the day. This is a wonderful ewer. This is starting out at also $30. $30 is your opening bid on this Blenko ewer. This one is a really pretty bright green from the 1960s, 70s era that was very popular then. It's 10 inches tall. This is all hand blown. You can see the quality. It's got a nice optic rib to it, so it's got a little bit of design. Even if you don't have anything in it, it really shows well. It's got the pontil mark on the bottom where the blow mold was broken off. This was something that was all hand done, and the handles were applied by hand. It's got a nice little scroll at the bottom where they did this. So again, $30 our opening bid on this piece. And it was designed by Joel Philip Myers. They did these in a whole lot of different colors over the years. Oh no, I'm sorry, that's not. This was a Wayne Husted design, that's right. Wayne Husted was their designer who did a lot of their really fanciful shapes in the 50s and 60s. So again, $30 our opening bid if anyone is interested in the Blenko piece. And Christine K is in at $30. And Lisa Haas is at $40. Blenko is so popular now, Blenko. They are one of the few surviving American companies in West Virginia. And look at what a bright, happy color that is. I just think it's very pretty. And Lynn at $45 out in Washington State. I think there's a lot of appreciation of Blenko there. There was even a Blenko museum in Seattle for a period of time. I was involved with that actually when it was in business there, and that was a really beautiful place. We got to meet Wayne Husted and some of the other designers, and they just all had their own take on things, and it's why this was the premier company in modernist glass in the United States. And you're right, I do go by what's on my computer, so it is important to bid early and what you're willing to pay, because we don't want anyone to lose out on something over $1. So we are in our last here. Lynn is the high bidder at 45, and we are going to call fair warning on this. So get your last bids in, because this is your last chance to own this Blenko ewer. Isabel is at 50. Are the blanker pieces with the labels newer pieces? No, the labels, the old foil handshake label was there all along. When it says .com on it, then you know it's after about the year 2000, because they added their .com address to their labels. And we are going once. We are going twice. And we are sold. We're going to put in bid end and see who gets this piece. Just wait for the catch up here. And our winner of the lovely Blenko ewer is Isabel Duran at $58. Well, thank you very much. That was a lot of fun. I hope that we're going to lend to some lovely holiday tables here. Let me make a note of Isabel's bid. I just want to thank you all so much. And again, if you would go and leave comments and timestamps for items you'd like to see in the next 2 days' sales, if you'll go to the Antique Nomad Live and look at the video that is We Need Your Help, and it's me looking very sad with a very cute Steiff dog in a doghouse. That shows the items that I'm trying to choose from for the next 2 days' sales. There's going to be a sale that is 12 toys and games and characters, and there's going to be 12 great gifts for guys or gals. And so I'm really looking for your input as what you want to see in the next 2 days. So take a look at that, leave a comment, let me know what you'd like to see in those sales, and we'll be back tomorrow. I'll do a thumbnail this evening and announce which one is going to be tomorrow's sale. And we'll see you all at noon Eastern tomorrow. Thank you so much for being here. It was a delight, and I certainly had a great time with all of you. Thank you so much.